Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? Downtown Peyia. Well, Midtown Peyia is where we are on a rainy, drizzly day on the island of love, which of course is Cyprus. But hey, you know, wherever you're watching from in the world, probably your weather's not much better. Well, you never know. But I know you're tuning in to watch the beautiful weather. Well, not today, that's for sure. Miss Dawn, Mr. Sean, hang on to Miss Daisy, because I'm sure she's having the living daylight scared out of her. That's our little Cypriot cat who likes to watch every day, who lives in downtown Derbyshire. And she's got a little friend, a little partner in crime, and that's Bobo the dog. And he's sitting there thinking, well, it doesn't look too bad to me, to be honest. No, because he's made from stronger stuff. That's why he's a strong little doggy from all the way up in Derbyshire. And this weather's getting worse and worse. They promised us, well, on and off heavy torrential rain today. And as you can see, well, it started, that's for sure. So, welcome to the Breakfast Club. Miss Nessie and, of course, Miss Vivian. They're in charge of the show. They're in charge of the Marika and Me long bar. And they're serving the coffees, the teas, the scones, and of course the cupcakes. So Mr. Allen, knock on the machine and get yourself ready, because we're going to have a nice little cruise into downtown Paphos. That's where we're going, if you're curious to know. Now, coming up over here is quite a popular place to come if you reside in Peyia. And it's open from early in the morning, to be honest. You can get a breakfast here, a lunch here, you can play bowls. It's a bit of a sports bar, and it's called Neo's Sports Bar. So if you are in the Peyia area, you will become very familiar with it. You can play pool, snooker, darts, all those kind of things. And the food there is pretty good as well, to be honest. And of course, in the fairer weather, you can play bowls. Yes, that's what you can do. Mr. Bright, if you're watching, he plays bowls at I think it's called the Aleathon, isn't it? The Aleathon Resort in downtown Paphos. So a very, very good morning to you, Mr. Bright, if you're watching. So, where are we now? This road's been surfaced, by the way, so it's not too bad on the old suspension, shall we say. Now, let's have a quick look and see who is on the breakfast sofas. Well, the two Ronnies are in town. The Viking, the man all the way up in Denmark. Good morning to you, Mr. Ronnie. How are you doing today? You all right? Yeah? You're going to have a nice Cypriot coffee? Yes? Twins, come on, boys. Well, not sirs, they're lords. We promoted them because they were complaining they were getting overworked. So I thought, I'll twiddle them with a nice new title, and perhaps it'll get them to cheer you up a little bit. So, Lord Simon, Lord Jeremy, come on, get the orders taken. There's people waiting. They're parched on this rather damp and chilly day in downtown Paphos. So, Viking Ronnie, a nice Cypriot coffee with a nice chilled glass of water and perhaps a chocolate cupcake. Perhaps a little slither of Miss Vivian's fabulous cheesecake, because it truly is an incredible cheesecake. Wow, mouth-watering. And on the other arm, well, Ronnie Miller from Uptown Scotland. That's where he's residing, and it's probably a bit chilly up your way, isn't it, Mr. Ronnie? I bet you're planning on coming out to Paphos very, very soon and washing away those winter blues. What do you fancy? A nice cup of tea with a rich tea biscuit, I think is what he wants. Thanks for your coffees, guys. Really, really appreciate it very, very much. It's how the channel's funded. So if you are hoping to keep watching the Marika and Me video drive arounds, please go through to our About page, where you could consider to buy us a coffee or two. And of course, you'll be joining me on the breakfast crew. Now, Dave Jono, Lord Dave Jono. Mr. Ronnie, get your truncheon out. He's a bit of a naughty boy, so we need to smack him around the head a couple of times just to get a little bit of sense out of him. He's residing in downtown Rotherham. That's where he is, and it's probably a little bit chilly and a little bit murky, that's for sure. Sitting on the breakfast sofa, all cuddled up. Well, we got Roger and Anne, and of course we got Andrea and Mart, and of course we got Lady so sweet Caroline, and she's coochied up to the #1 man, Lord Nigel Big Guns. They've got a memory foam cushion each, because the road surface, well, it's absolutely Sherlock Holmes, that's for sure. A bit like the weather. Shall we take a detour and go down the Coral Bay Strip and see what it's like on a damp and rainy day? James Henry, feast your eyes and digest. David Potter, feast your eyes and digest. Have a look at that. Not a lot going on. The road service on here, by the way, is absolutely Sherlock Holmes as well. Is there anything open? Let's have a look. Well, the barber shop's open because their thingy bob sign is going. So there's the barber shop, that's open. The arcade doesn't look open. Santa Maria, it's open. There we are, Dave. If you're down there in the Coral Bay Panaretti Resort, that's the place to go for your breakfast. I don't think there's anywhere else to go. Is the Kikos bar open? Yes, it is, because I can see that there is a TV screen on, so that's open. And the supermarket here, Coral Bay Star, that's open. Talking about stars, I've got a star who lives all the way out in Poland, yes, and her name is Anna Star, an absolute superstar amongst superstars. So we're wishing you all the love in the world out there, and hopefully you've got some furry boots on, because of course there's a little bit of snow on the ground, isn't there? And talking about stars, Miss Lubika, all the way from Slovakia, who now resides in downtown UK, but she did reside in Paphos for a while and worked in a couple of places, and she got fond memories of Paphos. And we hope that, well, perhaps not today, but hopefully one day soon we can bring some sunshine onto your screen. And we're going to turn around and go back because, well, there's not a lot going on Coral Bay Beach, that's for sure. I don't think I fancy going down there and get my blue shoes wet. If I do, Miss Andrea, well, she'll get very upset with me, that's the problem. She doesn't like me to get my blue shoes wet, do you, like Andrea? So Andrea Mart, great YouTubers, by the way, if you want to go and watch them moseying on down in downtown Norwich and Norfolk. They go wiggle waggle around in their scalded earwig with a, I think it's a black octopus now. Before it was a red octopus on the dash, and I'm going to get them a blue one whenever I see one. So if you want to go and watch them, Andrea Mart, great YouTube channel, and then we've got some other YouTubers who watch us, and of course that's Ness and Andrew. So when Nessie is not making the tea, she's out with Andrew in the Black Beast, and they're racing around the downtown lanes of North Shropshire. And then now and again they even mosey on down into Wales, which is why Nessie is improving her Welsh. A London girl, by the way, who moved up north, and now she's even trying to learn Welsh. Why, I don't know. Even Welsh people don't speak Welsh. There we go. Coral Bay Strip on a damp and breezy February morning. So perhaps not the best place to come for your holiday. But we understand there's a few people coming into town next week, and they have forecasted that the weather will be that little bit better. So, Lord Simon, Lord Jeremy, please get the orders in, because Alan's waiting for his cupcake and his cup of tea. Ronnie is waiting for his cup of tea and his rich tea biscuit. There's all sorts of people waiting, you know. Kath and Stephen up in Inverness, they're waiting for a cuppa. There's a few people in town. Sean Broad, he's coming with us on our travels because he understands that we're a couple of idiots and that we're looking for a nice S-Class because we understand the roads of Sherlock Holmes. I'm getting old, so I thought before I die I'll buy myself an old S-Class to mosey on down. So we're still looking, Sean. Every time we go and look one, we'll take you with us. We'll keep you in the boot with your mate Richard. We'll put Julie in the back seat, and we'll have Leo sitting behind me telling me which way to go. And talking about people telling me which way to go, I've got my little mate Kenny, yes, all the way up from in Yorkshire. Paul Roberts, good morning to you. Nicole Roberts, good morning to you. How we doing, Kenny? We all right? I think the screen's missing up a little bit, you know, Kenny, because it's getting that little bit, what can you say, chopsy mopsy, isn't it? But the weather, absolutely Sherlock Holmes indeed. So sit back, relax, and we're off to Paphos. We're on the drag from Coral Bay to Kasonega on a rather damp and rainy day, that's for sure. And there's plenty of people on the sofa, so enjoy it, because it's going to be a very, very nice trip indeed. And hopefully you'll keep coming back for more and more of my madness, because guess what, twice a day Mr. Paul takes people for a drive. For example, my Gwyneth Walker, my wonderful Welsh friend, she hasn't driven a car ever in her life, but she says, well, especially on a day like today, Gwyneth, it's certainly better to be sitting with Mr. Paul rather than walking. Thanks for that coffee. Moira and Kevin Taylor, again, thank you very much. Very, very much appreciated. Lynn and Angie Walker, thanks very much. You are superstars amongst superstars. Mark Stevens, again, thank you very much. Hopefully you're having fun and games on the sofas. Don't listen to a word that Lord Dave Jono has to say. Actually, he's a nice guy, but misunderstood. Get the rubber mallet out. Lord Simon, Lord Jeremy, go and have a rummage in my boot, see what you can find. We need to we need to calm him down. Give the mallet to Ronnie all the way up from Scotland, and he'll say, and goodbye from me. Anyway, Sean Braun, he's on the sofa, laughing and joking. Labika's with us, and of course David and Karina, they're with us. Even though they reside in downtown Paphos, they come for a little drive with me today. And of course Anastar. Yeah, these are some of the people who are on the sofas today, and they'll be here for the rest of the week, because we truly appreciate that you are helping to fund the channel. And on that note, if you want to get yourself on the sofa, drop it in the comments, tickle me enough. And of course, like JJ, my beautiful partner in crime, well, the partner in crime is actually Andy. We've got a lovely dog called Leo, and they're living in North Shropshire, and she sends him out now and again to get a takeaway, and he goes wiggling his rear end in his blue BMW. Now and again he comes back with a pizza and that kind of stuff. And JJ Tonic is the girl that cheers me up every night. She has me in stitches, she writes funny comments, and well, I have a good laugh. Often I just die, as I say. And, there we are. Sometimes I have to check her spelling, but I think she was a former English teacher, so normally her spelling is absolutely spot on. Well, Lady Caroline, we're on that bit of road again. I think you know the road we're on about. We're in downtown Casoniga. You can hear it ricocheting through the suspension. Not even an E-Class can smooth out this road, but hopefully when we get the S-Class, that's well, hopefully the road surface will not transmit quite so much into the car, but these roads are just getting worse and worse. That mare, well, Adonis, you need to get hold of Dizzy Blonde's husband, and you really need to get out there and fill some of these potholes in, because, well, the roads are Sherlock Holmes, that's for sure. Where are we? Downtown Casoniga. That's where we are. And the boys, they're rushing around Double Trouble are serving everyone, because they understand it's a bit cold and there's a lot of cheesecake to give out, and there's even a bit of walnut cake still about. It was a nice walnut cake, by the way. What we're going to have this week. Now, see what you're going to cook for us. Vivian, what are you going to do? I know you're busy chasing around the boys in your high-heeled boots with your cuffs and your whips, but as I say, they're starting to enjoy that punishment, so out comes the mallets, I think. That's why I brought Dave Jono into town, and Mr. Doug's coming back, and well, we're going to sort you boys out, that's for sure. And you never know, you might find yourselves floating around in the blue Mediterranean Sea. So get on with the service. How you doing, Alan? You all right? Had a cupcake? Yes? Cup of tea? Yes? Wonderful. Flip the machine up. We're on the flat. Get yourself fit, because it won't be long before you are rock climbing and chuchuchka dancing in the downtown Cato Paphos Harbour area. Now, as you can see, the road surfaces with the water now, a lot of surface water, so I am concentrating quite well, making sure that I keep my distance, although the car behind me, Mr. Andrew, seems to want it to get itself into my boot. But there we go. There's not much common sense in the world these days when people are driving. They're always late and they're always in a hurry. I always say, drive nice and carefully, nice and slowly. You probably won't get there that much later, and if you're late already, well, guess what? You're going to be late anyway. So drive carefully and at least arrive there in one piece, shall we say. So sit back and relax. Now for a puddle. Wow. I remember one day a while ago, about 5-6 years ago, I came down this road, and this here was a river, and I'm not joking, that house there on the right hand side, all of its car parking area was flooded, and they've now made a hole in the wall. They made a wall with holes in it to allow the water to, well, get out to the sea, because if you understand, the higher fields were flooding and there was nowhere for it to go, and it comes rushing down into downtown Casoniga. Wow. Helios Bay Hotel, that's on the right hand side there. You've got the Serena restaurant there. Someone was asking about that the other day. I think it was Vivian, wasn't it? Yes, it was Vivian. There it is. It's closed for the season, but don't worry, it'll open up very soon. Got the Baracus Lounge Bar, that's over here on the right hand side. Nice big car park. Great food, by the way. Eat there quite often in the summer. And It's a great place to go and chill out, have a nice coffee or a soft drink, or even perhaps a Nigel Big Guns. What's coming up here? Well, this is the Lara Splash Bay and Resort. That's that one there. That's where Mr. Daniel works at the moment. That's the guy that we used to meet on the harbour demonstrating the helicopter things, if you remember. He hangs out in there 5 days a week. We actually bumped into him yesterday. You saw on camera Mr. Chris, the sponge man, and I was chatting to Daniel 5 minutes before that as well. Because all our friends still hang out in the harbour, by the way. They often come down and go fishing and that kind of thing. And we greet them and hug them and kiss them. Because guess what? They're our friends. They're not just the stars of the show, they are actually our friends. That's the UKCA Club on the left hand side there. This is the Cafe Me on the right hand side. You've got the 24-hour refresh kiosk, which is more of a supermarket, to be honest. And then on the left hand side now, you've got Premier Electrical. So if you want to buy yourself a Rampant Rabbit or that kind of thing, perhaps you should pop into there when you're in downtown Paphos. Coming up a bit further on, well, we've got some multi-million euro villas, and we've got a petrol station, and that means we're not far from the Duck Pond Market. Yes, a lot of people like to go and have a rummage around. It's, what should we call it? It's a bit of a bric-a-brac place, should we say. But just over here, after the kiosk, well, no, before the kiosk, isn't it? So coming round this next bend, over here you've got the former parish church, and the road that takes you down to the Clorica Beach. But just round this corner now, you've got Mike's Kiosk about to come up. And if you turn right now to the left, on a Wednesday and a Sunday, you would go to the Duck Pond Market. And, not a bad place to go and have a rummage around. And now and again, you might find something special, something that someone doesn't know what they've got, should we say. You might get to make a couple of bob. And you take it back to the UK and sell it on a car boot sale, that kind of thing. And I understand that Double Trouble, that's Sir Simon and Sir Jeremy, they used to be into that kind of thing, although now they just chill out and serve tea and coffee in the downtown Marika and Me lounge bar. And the girls, that's Miss Nessie and Miss Vivian, have got their whips out again because they understand that they are slacking. As you can see, the weather's getting worse and worse, so here we are driving in downtown Paphos, torrential rain and wind to help out as well. And the road surface along here again is absolutely awful, and there's a bit of a misty coming in as well, very difficult to see. So I'm going to say thanks for watching, and if you do like what you see, hit the like, click subscribe. Want to come back for a little bit more of my complete and utter insanity. But the weather is turning for the worst, and I think we're in for this for the next couple of days. So if you want to watch Mr. Paul suffer, don't forget to hit the like, click subscribe, come back and a little bit more of my madness. I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you want to know what the price of benzene is, $1.57 for this car, a litre. So buy us a coffee, doesn't go very far. Thanks for watching. Traffic lights, gridlock, I tell you. What's going on in the world? You'd swear I'm on the M62. Unbelievable. Or the M25. Can't even get that much traffic on that, can you? Not possible. Anyway, thanks for watching. Here we go. We're moving again.